another episode of Financial Freeway. My name is Dave J. Atwood, the man rocking the Ray-Bans, and today I wanted to talk about accountability. One of the things that are holding so many people back from success, and I'm guilty of it too, is not being truly accountable. So many people that I've talked to just have this, if you don't take accountability for your actions, like the most people I talk to about success and how to move forward, if you don't take accountability, then you will never move past where you are because you are a victim. And if you are a victim, you have no control. So the first thing anyone needs to do to be a success is to become accountable. And it's very hard for a lot of people. It was hard for me. I remember the day, it was like 2009, 2008. No, sorry, it was 2008. I remember it very clearly. And it was spring 2008. And I was sitting there whining and crying about how hard my life was and how beaten down I was and how it was the boss's fault. It was my mom's fault. It was Rich Whitey's fault. It was everyone's fault except mine. I was a complete victim. I had no hope of control in my life. And it wasn't until I heard the quote, and I heard it from Tony Robbins. I don't know who actually coined it first, but the quote was, you are where you are right now because of the choices you made in the past. And that really made me think, because that forced me to realize that it isn't within my control. And once it's within your control, you can start to take action and start to change things. So right now, I don't care who you are, there is something in the back of your mind that makes you sick when you think about it, so you do everything you can to not deal with it. A lot of that I talk about in the book Conversations with Keegan about procrastination. And what a lot of people think is when you procrastinate, you are lazy. But that's not the truth. When you're procrastinating, you have some emotional reason you're avoiding that subject or that task. So what you'll do, instead of dealing with what you have to do, you'll start filling your schedule with things that make you busy. So now you can say, oh, I'm too busy to do that thing I really don't want to do. So right now, I want you to think about all the things that you know you should be doing. Whether it's diet, whether it's getting to the gym, whether it's making sure you tweak that resume or write that person that you've been putting off. If you sit down in your bedroom, sit on your bed, and actually really contemplate the things that you are purposely avoiding for whatever reason, I promise you, you will find the answers, and you will not like them. You will not like the things that you know you have to do, and start actually putting yourself to task. Start actually putting it out there that you have to do this. You have to make get these things out of the way, and start setting yourself up for success by agreeing that you are where you are because of the choices you've made in the past, and agreeing that these things that are haunting you, you got to start taking action to deal with them, whatever they are. Pick up that phone, call that person you know you need to call. If you owe some debt, well, I mean, heck, that's the big one for a lot of people. They don't want to deal with their debt. Sit down, grab a pen and paper, go to Google. If you go to Google, you can, if you have a Google account, which I'm sure everyone does, especially if you're watching YouTube, if you have a Google account, you can go to this thing called Google Sheets. And that's like an Excel spreadsheet. And from there, you can start listing down all the things that you owe money to. And then in one column, and then right beside it, list how much. And then the third one, start listing out all the minimum payments you have to do. And if you owe someone money and you're not dealing with it, call them and discuss it with them. Make a plan. It will take so much off of your plate and your heart and your emotional mind. You will be able to sleep better at night just knowing that you've made connections with people. They're going to be excited to hear from you because they know that now you're taking action. But I mean, I'm using only debt is one thing. There's so many things. Like diet. We all know that we could probably do a little better on our diet. So let's make a point to go into the pantry and start scooping some things out that we know are bad for us. Like get rid of the sugar. I mean, I'm a sugar freak. I love sugar. I know it's bad for me, and I'm going to be accountable to you, you people watching me, to change that, to change my diet and start getting into shape. Again, we all know what has to be done. We avoid these things, and we know that they're stopping us from getting to the next level of success. So, if you're watching this, and if you're trying to find out what's holding you back, go to a room. Don't bring in your phone. Don't bring in music. Don't turn the TV on. Sit there in the dark and really contemplate and think about all the things that you know you're avoiding. The answer's there. The answer's there. You sit there long enough and you will find it. And once you get that answer, take action. And it doesn't start with you tripping over a treasure chest full of gold doubloons or finding the winning lottery ticket. It starts with you just making the decision to take action and actually start thinking, okay, what do I need to do? I got to call my accountant. I got to call my boss. I got to call my ex-wife or my kids or my mom, or I got to call this guy I owe money to. Take action. It's a simple thing, making a decision. And then once that decision's made, start moving forward toward it. Make a plan. If you owe someone money, this is just a quick thing. If one of those things is you owe someone money, or let's look at it. Let's not talk about money. Let's talk about something like cleaning the garage. Your garage is a mess. You know it's got to be cleaned. You know there's things in there that you got to deal with and you've been avoiding. So here's what you do. Go into the garage. Go into the garage. Make it a point to go into the garage and say to yourself, I'm not going to clean the whole thing today. That's too much of a task. I'm going to clean this little part. And I mean little. I mean, take this like one elephant burger at a time. Go in the garage and say, okay, I'm going to clean 1 square meter of space, and that's it. Just take a footstep in there, look at it, and go, this little spot, this shelf, this counter, this drawer, I'm going to take out, I'm going to clean it out. I'm going to look at what I have. I'm going to look what needs fixing. I'm going to look what needs throwing away. I'm going to look what needs organizing, and I'm just going to do this one little bit, and you will start. And that start will change not just your mind, but your physiology. You'll start to actually change the way you look at things, the way you do things, and you'll start to attack things. And my friends, that is exactly where you need to go to start. Just take a look at what's going on in your life right now, and let's start dealing with the challenges that are there, whatever they may be. And like I said, it could be the backyard you haven't mowed all summer, and I'm guilty of that actually. The backyard needs attention. Just go out there, grab some tools and start saying, okay, I'm going to do this one task. And what I would suggest is when you start looking at this, do it in 30-minute increments. Don't say, okay, brew a pot of coffee, we're working all through the night. No. Just little tiny things. Just like the debt. If you owe someone some money, don't think about, okay, how am I going to pay this all off? Call them. Contact them and say, okay, let's work out a payment schedule. Let's work out a deal. Can we negotiate if you owe someone like a credit agency, like you owe someone, a private lender, some cash? And I promise you, this has worked for me in the past. Back like in 2000, I owed someone like $1,500, pennies really comparatively. And I called them up and said, listen, I'm in a bit of a bind. I got some issues going on. Would you be willing to help me? Can we negotiate a settlement here? And they agreed to a 50% settlement. Because I had been paying interest on this money I borrowed, they were already made whole by the payments I made. And when I said 50%, they said yes. But here's how we're going to do it. We structured a payment plan, and it was done. It was done, and I felt just this incredible weight come off my shoulders. And I think that's really important for not just debt, not just a dirty garage, but anything in your life. If there's someone you need to call, pick up the phone and call them. Make a decision to do it first. That's where it all starts. It all starts right here. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I love that I'm getting new subscribers. I love you, and you know who I'm talking to. And if you like what you watch, give me a thumbs up. And of course, share the good word, because I really believe it's everyone's inalienable right to have a life of abundance. Thanks so much. God bless.